Hey guys, I think I'm live. Let me know if I am. Let me know. Got some technical difficulties going on around here this morning, apparently. Restream chat is behind, so I'm just waiting on a good morning. Okay, good morning, Forrest. You can hear me? Good deal. Rachel says it's currently 34 degrees and it's cold where she's at. Ooh, girl, I'm sweating this morning. I got the AC on, I got the ceiling fan on high. It's Florida for you, though. You can have at it, ma'am. You can have your cold weather. I feel bad for you. I really do. You may like it though. Welcome in everybody. Good late morning to you all. I do have my second pot of coffee going. Foster or Forrest says blistering 43 degrees. Goodness. Y'all, it won't get real cold in Florida till like January. January and February is my coldest months, and I don't look forward to those 2 months. Like, ugh. Y'all got me having chills just thinking about all y'all's cold weather. Like, I can't. So, welcome in, everybody. I don't know if it's my low bandwidth right now, but even the intro would not play. So, and it was working fine this morning when I tested everything. So, we're just going to roll with it. Butterfly, you're is going to be in and out with us this morning. She's got something going on that she's taking care of. So, we appreciate her being here with us and, helping out in the chat and chatting it up with you guys. Take it easy there, Butterfly, and do what you got to do. But thank you, ma'am. Pammy, welcome in. Carrie, welcome in. Forrest and Rachel, my other parts of my mod team. Thank you guys for being here. Um, we'll see who all comes in today to catch the show. There's been a lot going on, guys, in just true crime as a whole. I'm trying to follow too many things at one time. Damn, that coffee's good. Second time around. I got up early this morning and made a pot. Um, so we all know we've seen the arrest with Stacy Wandra, and he's been extradited now back to Idaho. And we're waiting on all those things to happen there and start popping off with something there. He's got his court dates coming up and such. Today we're going to focus on the Summer Wells investigation. I wasn't on social media during that case, when Summer disappeared, but I've seen a lot of chatter all around about it, over the last couple years. Kind of watched a couple of streams here and there to kind of get updates and just get the gist of what was going on there with all that. Quickly saw that it was some kind of a shit show, a little bit like the rest of these cases turn into. At some point, you got to start shoveling, you know what I'm saying? So I always do that and shovel out the shit so I can get to the good stuff. And so I've been taking things and learning them. But there's an account that I follow, and they made a couple of interesting tweets a while, or not tweets, they were Facebook posts. I didn't know what to make of the post because I didn't really follow that case a lot. And this person works a lot of different cases, and it's not Steve Fisher, it's a different private investigator. I became aware of this private investigator during the Delphi case because his team worked on the Delphi case. Turns out he's worked a lot of cases around the country. In fact, he was in Idaho, if I can speak. He was in Idaho, Moscow, Idaho recently, doing a big old search for a K-bar. Right off the side of Highway 95, in fact, got some video footage of it. I'd have loved to have lived in the area for a day or two and helped with that search. Rachel, I should have sent you down there, girl. Boots on the ground. Ma'am, throw on a backpack and some boots and get jiggy with it. Interestingly enough, while they were out searching for the K-bar knife to go with the sheath, they found another sheath in the wheat field or whatever. Kind of like with some of the documents we were unpacking in Idaho for when they were searching around the Clarkson area and we're finding random knives here and there. You're like, what in the world? Homemade knives shoved up in bushes and stuff. Anyway, back to the main point. So this is a private investigator that I have followed for quite a while. He's been on court TV several times, going back quite a while. I don't know if a lot of you are familiar with him or who he is. His name is Jason Jensen. And if you have followed anything to do with Delphi, that name might be familiar. There was a couple of PIs that worked the case that worked for him, or they, affiliated with his office or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't have anything to do with Delphi. It's just that's who he is. So he's investigated a lot of cases. Well, how many of you are familiar with Chronicles of Olivia? If you know anything about Chronicles of Olivia, she was like this big TikTok true crime person. I really didn't know much about her until the Idaho 4 case. And then we found out that Kaylee Gonzalez followed that account and was a true crime fan, right? Whatever you want to call us. So she's into true crime and she's following that account. After the crimes happened, her family, the Gonzalezes, reached out to Olivia and told her, hey, Kaylee was a big fan of yours. Could you help get the word out about this case? So she started. Then she backed away at some point. After, let's say, the CW did their little little show and platformed WSU Mom Kim plain as day on TV for the whole world to see, WSU Mom Kim in the flesh. Yeah, after that show where JLR said, I'm going to go down to Idaho and meet with Bullhorn Betty and Olivia, they go way back. Oh, they did. She got smart and cut ties when she realized what was going on. So Chronicles of Olivia did do some work back in the beginning of the Summers Wells case with JLR and Bullhorn Betty. She did some work, I guess, in the Gabby Petito case. That's how they all kind of started hanging out together, for those of you who don't know the story of them. All got together outside the, Gabby Petito, here we come, gonna save the day with our bullhorns and shit. She did a show with Chronicles of Olivia. Did a show about 4 or 5 months ago with a gentleman from a channel called Appalachian something. He's not even a true crime person, right? Because I went and looked at the account and I was like, what? The Appalachian channel with John Ward. My mods have a link to what we're about to try to play. If I can't get it to play, I encourage you guys to go and watch this on your own. Because I'm going to try to play it. I want to drop a link and make sure we give them credit and Olivia credit for what she's doing here. Now, she states in this video 4 to 5 months ago that Jason Jensen was calling it a tip. Now here we are suddenly with a new search in the case. Now, I know there's speculation out there and different things, and that's all we're doing here is speculating. But when I go to Jason's Facebook page, we start seeing a series of posts that leads me to believe he's the tipster. Was it a credible tip? You would think that it would have to be, right, if they actually took it seriously enough to gain a warrant to go search a property. We don't like it when they don't have enough to go do a search, right? I don't care what case we're in. We can't flip-flop and say, well, today we're okay with it and tomorrow we're not. No, do it right across the board so they don't come back to bite you in the butt later. Pammy says, I've forgotten all that I knew on Summer Wells. I'm getting a big refresher, Pammy. But I'm being careful where I get my information, right? And when it's complete speculation, I'm going to really make sure I let you guys know that. So let's take a look at Jason's post. Summer Wells, I guess you guys can see that, I hope. Let me get over here to my, okay, yeah. Summer Wells, literally, this was June 7th. This was right after Olivia goes on YouTube and says what she says, and I'll show you guys in a moment. And we'll figure out together if we think this is where the tip came from. So June 7th, Summer Wells literally just received, he says he literally just received a tip from someone, an anonymous caller from Rogersville, Tennessee. He didn't trust his information with anybody else. Thank you, sir, for your trust in me and for the tip on Summer Wells. Stay tuned, y'all. Hashtag Summer Wells, hashtag missing person. Oh, good, Butterfly. When he's finished up, you send us a goofy video of him. Tell him we're thinking about him. Okay. Our side chair sleuth. What's what we'll call him? Our side chair sleuth. Okay. So this is another one, June 8th. Update. So the day later, right? June 7th, he makes that post. The next day he tells this is what he posts. Updated 6/9/25. Oh, look, on my birthday. Kaylee's is the day before. Geminis rule the world. I'm biased. Both of me. TBI tip submitted this morning. Now we wait. June 9th, a tip was submitted. Now we wait. Summer Wells update. Some have wondered about me notifying TBI the tip I received yesterday. Rest assured, I intend to contact TBI tomorrow when they open up. I received the tip over the weekend. And then he has a screenshot there of their headquarters. So there's that. Then this is June 8th again. Summer Wells, he says, I know what you did. Turn your brother in and they will go easy on you. Excuse us, sir? What does that mean? He's about as cryptic as old Steve Fisher, these damn PIs. Now it's up to us to figure out what they mean by their cryptic post. So he says on June 8th that he knows what you did. Turn your brother in. Wow, that's a strong statement, guys. Now think about it. This search was conducted on what, Van Hill Road? 9.5 miles from Summer Wells' home. The same street, apparently, where Don Wells received the DUI a few years ago. If I got that wrong, I'll stand corrected. Okay. So then, 22 hours ago, this was yesterday actually, so a little more than 22 hours ago. Remember the sighting of the red Toyota Tacoma? Was this the correct vehicle? The owner of this vehicle sold his Tacoma in August of 2022. Summer went missing in June of 2021. So I'm like, well, what's the significance of this truck? So I did some little research. I'm like, okay, people saw a red Tacoma in the area. People saw ladders. People saw a work truck. That's not a work truck. I know what a Tacoma looks like up close and personal. All kinds of years. I live in big boy country. They all got a pickup truck. Some of them got racks. Some got ladders. Some got trailers. Some got dog boxes. Hell, we got it all. Them boys can throw everything on back of that truck, right, if they want to. All right, so he's pinpointed this particular truck. Now, there was a comment under this, and this is what the comment. Now, I blurred out the person's name and their photo because I'm not trying to dox anybody. I know who apparently lives at this Van Hill location, but I'm not about to put a name out there in the public that's not in a court document because I'm not trying to get cease and desist. I'm not trying to end up in a court document, and I just do not give a flying fuck. I'm not in the doxing game. We got the 3500 block of, and I'm going to stick to that because sometimes we got to know where that line is and when it's time to cross it and when it's time to pull back. If there's a name already out there and it's out there, well, what am I going to do about it, right? I'll speak on it, but I'm not just trying to sit up here doing all that business. So I did put this person's name and all that out. Okay. As a close friend of are as a close friend to ex-owner of this truck. This truck was for sale long before Summer went missing, and this this truck was seen on a common road that he has to take every day. This truck had a lot of problems, but never had a ladder rack in the back at all. It was too beat up. I sold it too, giving how bad it was when he was trying to sell it. I also know the person he sold it to as well because it stayed around Baileyton, Tennessee for months afterwards till it finally gave out and was parked at the end of Horton Highway near 70 at the residence that bought it. Grew up with weeds, may still be there. So this person says that truck's all grown up with weeds because it's sitting there all broke down. Probably was took to the junkyard. No offense, if he was trying to get rid of that vehicle, I don't think he would have sold it to a person 5 miles from his home. Well, that's a good point. So I don't know what the significance is to this truck. Um, what if it was really, this comment's really the answer behind that truck? If it's got anything to do with this alleged brother, right? Um, that we don't know. But I think that this tip that they're going by that led to this new search 9.5 miles away, it's got everything to do with this tip that Jason Jensen's out here telling all of Facebook that he's got and that he's calling it in. And it's sure interesting that right after these posts and these comments from him, we have a new search in the case. Pammy, right? Things that make us go, So what was it about that tip, y'all, that was credible enough for the TBI to bite? Because you just don't go to the TBI with a willy-nilly tip of you heard such and such on the phone from you're a PI on Facebook looking for information. You're probably getting a lot of bogus information, right? Hell, in the Koberger case, that one lady, the FBI says, man, this lady calls us all the time in all kinds of cases. You're like, damn it, man. Those kind of people exist, right? And we can't forget that. But something credible came of that tip, enough for them to go search, other than just good thought, buddy, we'll get right on it. Was it a brother? Let's take a look we looked at the map. What was it, yesterday? I'm going to show you that piece. I'm going to attempt to pull up that piece that with Olivia. Now, I wasn't sure if she was still doing her Chronicles of Olivia channel because I never followed her before or knew anything about her. So I didn't see stuff from her during most of the Idaho 4 stuff. Now, I know that recently she went public because she's engaged to Kaylee Gonzalez's brother now. And together they have a little YouTube channel, right? I guess documenting. So I went and checked, and she still has her Chronicles of Olivia channel. And just 5 months ago, she was right there in Tennessee. I was like, damn, girl, I know 5 months ago you was with your boy doing this and that. I guess they're doing it together, and it's just a big, I don't know. I'm going to let folks do them. But if they want to come and talk, hey, we're here for it. Just throw that out there. Let me see if I can pull that up and if it'll play, guys. I'm so sorry about my internet. They're supposed to be working on it. I think I was better off staying out in the freaking country. I miss my internet, which I had in the country, and I miss my peaceful sitting spot that I had in the country. Maybe I did like I do from time to time and did something on a whim. I didn't think it through good enough. All right, let's see. Let me. Y'all know what? So they're still moving through jury selection in that Brian Walsh case. And I'm waiting for that to get done with the mumbo jumbo and get on with that trial, because I find it so intriguing legally to know that man stood up and told the judge, yes, ma'am, I didn't cooperate with the investigation, and yes, ma'am, I moved my wife's body. And but what? You didn't kill her? I mean, how do you say you're guilty to this stuff, but and then what's his defense going to be for murder? I'm here for it. So keep an eye on that as it pro- Oh, and before I forget it, Butterfly, if you're in here, grab that Nancy Grace link with if you guys don't care for Nancy, do you? But I want you to drop that link where Nancy Grace had the Gonzalez's on and Joseph Scott Morgan on that link. Um, you guys go watch that later and make your own judgment calls about what you see in that episode. All right, let's see if we can get this to play. Again, mods, if y'all will check your DM, I did drop the direct link to this video. Um, and right now my shit's spinning, so I don't know if we're going to be able to play it or not. My phone data should go back up in the next day or two because it's time to reset. Oh, uh-oh, it's trying to come in. December 1, Rach? You think, Pammy? Why not plead the last one, right? I mean, you just pretty much done said you done something. Jesus Christ, how do you get away with it? How do people get away with such? Yeah, I moved her body and did all of that, but that's as far as it went. I just found her like that and I panicked. Is that what he's going to say? I found her like that and I panicked. If I stumble across somebody unalived, I'm calling the authorities because I'm pretty sure I didn't do nothing to, you know what I'm saying? I'll go get me one of them good attorneys off the YouTubes if y'all try to pin it on me. Put y'all's money where your mouth is all the time preaching to people on the internet. Come be my lawyer pro bono. And if you're not, then I'll make you look like an ass. You think they've ever thought about that? Y'all, my thing's still spinning, so I'm just rambling. It tried to start. Hold on. Okay, maybe. Share screen. Well, I share screen and nothing happened. It was user error.
Just so fascinating to me. I don't know. It's just the most bizarre. It's like really,
I really want to stop it.
Really
y'all know what happens if I stop it. So
rabbit hole. And I've been down that rabbit hole many times.
Hello everyone, this is John Ward with the Appalachian Channel, and this is Olivia with Chronicles of Olivia. I'm going to be interviewing her and following along with her today as she investigates a case. She's going to tell you about that. Her channel, Chronicles of Olivia on YouTube, has over 400,000 subscribers, and she is a true crime investigator. She goes all over the United States wherever things are happening, and she also has over 1 million followers on TikTok. So we started working together in North Carolina last year and worked on several projects there, and then she's been here to Tennessee, and we worked about a month ago for a few days, and then her and her mom's back again, and she's my first guest here on the show at the Appalachian Channel Studios. So.
And like I said, he's not a true crime channel. I don't know how these two linked up or what they've worked on. The content that I saw is just a good old boy stuff. In fact, these two did a review on an e-bike even, and I was like, I kind of want one now. Could y'all? I want an e-bike now. I'm like, where would I ride it? Well, I live in town now. I got like stuff right across the street. Why not? Now I'm just being silly. I need a fresh cup of coffee. Let me try to get it to play a little further into what we don't need to hear all their chit chat. And I do need to stop occasionally and try to comment because, fair use, copyright is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976, something like that. Y'all get the gist.
You had to have known where they were living. I don't think it was a drive-by random thing because of just how that road is so, and we're going to show you included it is. Also, she vanished in June when the leaves are out in the trees, so you can't see the property at all. It's like hidden. So it's almost like, I think it's almost impossible to just be driving and think, oh, I'm just going to go down this random hill and abduct a child. It's like that person, if she would.
Yes. Think about it. Just like in Idaho 4, you know, in the winter, there's no foliage. You can see from Walenta straight on through them skippy ass woods right to the house. All the lights on off situation. All the things. This house, the way it sits in secluded middle of nowhere, kind of like in Delphi, I quickly concluded this is probably not a passerby, probably not a wanderer, probably not somebody passing through town, because it wasn't near a truck stop. You know what I'm saying? It was like you had to know to go there. Same thing here. If you don't wander off the property on your own accord, then somebody who knew of the property, it wasn't just a random person who broke down on the interstate and found an opportunity, or a random guy getting off at exit 9, got some gas, and decided to ride through rural America to look for a child to kidnap.
Was abducted,
I mean, it could
had to have
happen,
known that there was a child living there, just because you can't just drive by and see the house. It's hidden on a hill, secluded. That's an observation that I have. But I will say that something I find very interesting is that Jody Sue, the neighbor, I'm not sure if she still lives there, it's been a few years, but a news station did an interview with her and her son, and they talked about how on the day Summer vanished, they heard a high-pitched, animalistic scream come.
Okay, I heard that like a long time ago. This Jody Sue character who lit like a neighbor or whatnot. Now, granted, these are not the kind of houses you can reach out and touch someone, right? You know the neighborhoods. Tin cans, you walk outside and you stick your arms out and you can touch the house next door. That's not how it is here. You gotta holla at the person down the way, right? But Jody Sue says she heard this animalistic type scream around the time frame that little Summer would have went missing. Now, apparently there's been a lot said about Jody Sue out here on these streets, and I don't even know about all that, so we won't go there yet. Not unless we get a reason.
From the property, and that's their exact words. Animal.
Let me also, guys, because I live in a rural area, I don't live in Tennessee, right? I did for about a year. I had to get out of there because the mountains were closing in on me and I couldn't breathe, and I needed flat land and I needed to see the sea. So I had to come back. But when I was there, the vibe, right? Everything is so, to me, felt closed in, and there was no escape anywhere, and just everywhere you looked, there was a freaking mountain in your way, and that's the way it is. And it's very rural. Where I'm at in the countryside, I can see peanut fields forever, right? But randoms aren't just going to pop through town. But we have wild animals. Florida's got the gators, we got the panthers, we got the coyotes, we got it all. Out where I just came from, I had the coyotes right there in the backyard. I could sit outside at night and hear them running down the creek. A little pack of dogs running down the creek, right? I heard something stealthily attack 2 deer in my neighbor's backyard one night. Out of nowhere, boom, it was like, whoa, what was that? It was super dark and I couldn't see. Her hearing this scream, I wondered, you know what? So I looked all around that area and saw how rural and the trees and the woods and all the things. What's the probability of an animal all of a sudden wandering up on this property where I hear at one point there was up to 30 dogs? And I was like, 30 dogs? And they were like, well, maybe we're exaggerating, but I just heard the other day there was like at least 20 from neighbors and friends of Candace and Don's that they have a bunch of dogs. Everybody knows that. But they were saying like at least three of these dogs were all at the same time would be pregnant and all give puppies. So we're talking up to all these dogs. Wild animals don't normally come up in the yards where these dogs are at. And dogs usually do whatever it takes to protect a child. At least one of them 20 dogs is going to protect that baby at all cost, even lay down its life. I don't know that an animal could have come up and took that baby without a dog alerting somebody that something bad was happening. Like that pack of dogs would have turned on whatever that was trying to get that baby. Cougars sound like a woman screaming. Growing up in Florida, we were always taught, because I grew up in the woods, on the riverbanks, camping. We always, if you hear a baby, we would always go for walks. We'd go walking, we called it. Like 15 cousins. Let's go walking. Y'all hear a baby crying out there in them woods, do not go in those woods. Panther. The elusive black Florida panther. Boy, we looked for that bitch for years. We always like, do you hear a baby crying? Do you hear a baby crying? Like, you just grow up knowing to walk in the middle of the dirt road in case some rattlesnakes come out the side. And then you stop and let him go on his merry way. Yeah, we were taught all this stuff. But I don't know that an animal could have just wandered up into that yard and took that baby stealthy without a dog sensing it or knowing it. What do y'all think?
Scream.
Dog owners.
So what was it that they heard? Was it a wild animal? Was it a mountain lion scream? Was it a woman screaming? Was it Candace scream because she saw something that happened to Summer? Who knows? But I've always thought about this scream, and I'm sure you guys can comment down below what you think this scream was that the neighbor heard coming from Summer's property, and it was around the time that Summer had already gone home.
So, did Candace not hear a scream as well? Jody Sue was the only one to hear a scream? Can we trust Jody Sue? I just heard something on a channel that I trust last night that I don't know if I can trust old Jody Sue. I'm just sorry, Jody. I don't know you, old girl, but I got some questions about your scream. And if that's real, it's true, why didn't Candace report hearing a scream? I don't know that part.
Because a couple years ago, I did an interview with my friends with the mother of Hunter. Now, Hunter is the 15-year-old boy. He's now
going to be JLR and company, because I think I heard a part of that JLR interview, and it was on her channel. I listened to a piece. I had to go somewhere this morning. That's why I had to push back the live. I had to go run an errand. Anyway, so in the car I was listening, and I didn't look down. Of course, I'm driving, but the voice, I knew it was JLR's voice. I was like, damn it, man. He's entered the building as usual. So, but they did. And also, I cannot play it here because I want to play a couple of things for you guys from the interview room. We've played his stuff here before, and we were fine in the Idaho 4 case, the WSU stuff. But there's big copyright warning attached to those videos where he interviews the neighbors, or not the neighbors, I'm sorry. Okay, so from what I understand, Candace and Summer, they go swimming, and this boy Hunter's with them. They drop Hunter off at home, and then they go home, put the groceries away. Summer, they plant flowers. Summer disappears. Hunter's mother was interviewed by the interview room, as well as Hunter, but they don't show his face. Chris McDonough, they block him completely, and he gets permission from the mom, all the things. But there's a big copyright warning on there, and I'm not even going there with a 10-foot pole. I'm not trying today to have a fight with the devil over some content. So if y'all want to see those interviews, they're on the interview room's channel. And Chris also he went and met Candace at her home in Tennessee, and she let him in that house. And oh boy, if you've never seen it, it'll leave you going, damn, questions, red flags, and you hate to think that, right? Especially this far into this child's disappearance and nobody's been charged, not even the parents. But you can't help but see what you see. And the fact that at some point DCF did take their other children from them. And that's what I know about all of that. I know that there was uh, accusations and then investigations, and they were founded apparently, and those kids were removed. That doesn't mean they unalived their daughter. It doesn't mean that I don't know. I have no feelings either way about what they did or didn't do.
Now 19, but when he was 15, on that day that Summer vanished at the watering hole at Warriors State Park, he was hanging out with Candace and Summer, and when they left the watering hole, Candace dropped Hunter off at his mom's house, Allie. Rest in peace, Allie. She passed away from health issues, I think, a year or two ago. But my friends and I interviewed Allie before she died, and she said that it was around 2, I think it was like 2 o'clock or 2:30, I have to look back and see, when Candace dropped off Hunter, and Candace wouldn't let Allie say goodbye to Summer, which Allie thought was strange, that she would always go to the car and like hug Summer and say bye. But that particular day, Allie, according to Allie, what she said in this interview, she said that Candace didn't want her to go to the...
Now, this is recent, like I said, just about 5 months ago. And since she said that Allison has passed away since then. And that makes me feel bad because I watched that lady's interview last night with the interview room, and I could just tell there was something about her in particular that the one girl just like struck me as a girl I know, right? That you preach it, sister. She just whatever. She just said what she thought. But this Allison, Hunter's mom, I felt like something inside her was broken. And apparently Candace used her a lot. And then they had a falling out of some sort. But that's who she's talking about when she says Allison. And then whatever their falling out was. I don't...
car, like see Summer or like say bye to her, which Allie thought was very, very strange. Another thing Allie had said is that Hunter was very off. He didn't seem right, and that he wasn't the same after that. And we also talked to his
Okay, what about now? You guys hear me now? Nope, nope, nope. I see all this coming through. Okay, hang on, give it a minute. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Okay, you can hear me? I took the video down for a moment. I can't get anything to change. Like I can't get myself to get bigger right now. That my avatar picture there. I can't control anything. I got a little warning that or a little notification that said, "Oops, connection lost." And I was like, "Oh shit. Oh look, there I am. Okay, I'm all big again." All right. Whew. All right. Well, I'm not going to play the rest of that video, but she talks about in that video about Jason and his tip. And I was like, well, I remember seeing something on Jason's post a while back when I was looking at the Facebook page at the Idaho 4 stuff. And my display is fuzzy. You know what? It looks weird on my phone now that you said that. Hang on. So anyway, yeah, I'm running with crappy shit, y'all. Sorry. So it goes back to the reason we were watching that is because she did say in that video about the tip. Butterfly, are you about to get on the road? Okay. Be safe and get home and get all settled in. Well, that's weird. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm back. Woo. All right. Thank you guys for sticking in there with me through this crappy internet thingy. Okay. So the whole thing of that video, she really gives a good backstory on the case itself, like the facts of it that we know. Facts as we know them, right? And um, of course, I guess her theory, well, she didn't really have a theory about who did what, but talks about that, but about Jason's tip. So then let me get my notes. I have a couple of articles too. Got the map, and I just can't help but wonder because you got to take everything we see with a grain of salt, right? Um, Obviously, especially coming off social media post. Um, and I am careful. I don't venture off into Facebook groups because I just don't want to. It will give me a headache, and there's just rabbit holes everywhere, and people with all got the information. Sometimes that's a little, yeah. I only go if I need to for certain reasons, and if I go, it's for recon purposes, kind of thing. So she mentions again, like I said, his tip. So when I went back and reviewed his Facebook, I was seeing the other post that I didn't see before, and I was like, well, damn. What could have led there. So it turns out that the property that I cannot confirm this anywhere, but this property where they conducted the new search at somehow could be tied to that guy Fred Hill. Is it? I'm not even quite sure who that guy is in this case, but I know he's from the case, right? I know, is he related to like Don Wells or something? There's a lot to still, I guess, look into with that. But we don't know what led there. Let me look and see if I can pull up this article that I have. There's a couple of them, but because I was looking around for like very specific information pertaining to what these searches were, where they were, and things like that. The fact that it was so close to the home, it's like right. I think it's actually a different county, right? It's 9.5 miles away, but it's technically a different county. That don't mean anything. Where I'm from, we're the neighboring county. We're one and the same, but we don't even get the difference. You know what I mean? Okay, let me see if I can. Uh, I wish that we could get Jason Jennings to come and talk to us. Oh, okay. I know what we didn't get to share before that I did want to share because it's important to share it. If it will pull up, jeez, Louise, it's not wanting to. The TBI's website. They released that age progression photo of Summer. Let me see if I can get it to come up if I can just Google it and it'll come up that way. So we can at least show, because it's not, Lord. Let's see if it'll, Okay, here it is. Let's see. I want the current. There's like two right there. Where's that? They just gave you update. This is from August. Okay. Let me give it a second and see if it'll come up or not, guys. Here we go, maybe. hmm Does it not show the photo? What's the point of doing the article to talk about an age progression photo if it doesn't show the actual damn photo? What are we doing here? Let's see if they have it embedded here that I just don't see. No, they don't even have it. Like, why? What are y'all talking about it then for? Here, let's go to the page. How come when you go to Google something these days, like all these YouTube videos pop up before an actual article or a photo? I can go through and hit images, I guess, but okay, let's see if this will come up from this newspaper. No, it's not wanting to. GreenvilleSun.com. If you guys just Google Summer Wells age progression photo, you'll see it. I can't get it to come up enough to play, which is ridiculous, but whatever. I can at least tell you to go do that on your own. You got devices, it's a quick search, right? And you can see what they did put out. And because what if someone it's like the Delphi case a little bit. It's got to be local, right? If something happened here out where I lived, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to be local because you don't know where you're at out there. You wouldn't even know to go out there unless you're one of those motorcycle riders that come in a couple times a year because the weather's so fantastic, or a couple of those Jeep boys that come like to ride the trails. That's it. Otherwise, you're a local. So to think that someone just scooped her up and turned her into trafficking and things of that nature. So if it was a local person, did anybody leave the area quickly? Did anybody leave the area? Right? That may be it. That should be it, Forrest. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having my back. You're amazing like that. Um, all my mods are so good about stuff like that. I appreciate you guys. Um, yeah, that'll show you the age progression photo, and then you can share it on your social medias. And you can just hashtag Summer Wells, still looking, missing Summer Wells. You don't even really got to elaborate, say anything. Just ask people to share the photos, just like Sebastian Rogers. He could be out there. We don't know. Share the photo. Somebody who may have never even seen that boy's face before might see it today and go, wait, you know what? I think I saw that kid the other day. That fast, that easy. So even if we may have given up personal hope, there's always still hope. Elizabeth Smart was missing for 9 solid months. Her father was drugged through the coals. Wasn't social media back then, it was mainstream media, headline news, CNN. Nancy Grace, you know what I'm talking about, girlfriend? You know what I'm talking about. If you were into true crime back in the 90s, you did not miss Nancy Grace. And you know that there was also an offender in the area accused in the media and named in the media. His backyard was dug up in the search for Elizabeth Smart. Turned up nothing. The man was so brutalized by the public, he unalived himself. And he was not guilty of a damn thing, except being a registered offender. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, if he was a registered offender and he was following the letter of the law and his name got out there and people were like, oh, with their pitchforks, could you imagine? Meanwhile, the guy who really had Elizabeth was having a field day up in the woods with her for 9 solid months until her little sister remembered that voice she heard that night and could finally put a face to it. And a sketch artist put the photo out, and a man in the park said, "Damn, there they are." I remember I was at work the day my husband called and said they found her. I didn't even have to say who. I said, "You're kidding me." I could not wait to get off work and go home and find out the news that Elizabeth Smart had been found and rescued. And if you know that story and you know Elizabeth Smart today, oh my God. I encourage you to go do some homework on that and look at that case. Because you might never give up hope that these kids can be found one day. What about the little girl? What's her name? I see her face. I can almost say her name. It's right there in the backyard. For how long? How many babies did she have by her captor? JC Dugard. Sorry, JC, that I forgot your name for a moment, baby girl. Go look up JC Dugard and tell me these kids can never be found. Did you know the story, Pammy? So there's always hope, guys. So share the photos. Like I said, you don't got there's so much BS gets said on the social media. Look at the Summer Wells case alone, a fiasco with these parents, right? Coming on to social media speaking. Sebastian Rogers case, oh boy, 2.0. We all know what happened there with the parents coming out and speaking. Unfortunately, Idaho 4, the Gonzalezes have been raked through the coals by a certain group of people on the media because social media, they don't like that they even talk. Sometimes they make a mess of things. Sometimes they're out here trying to get the word out. Like Ed Smart did for 9 months. That man never backed down from the media who came at him so hard. I watched it all live on TV going, damn. That poor guy, if he didn't have something to do with it, damn. That's what I was thinking. Wasn't even no social media yet, thank God. It would have been horrendous. Guess what happened in the process? Ed Smart had to out himself and come right up out of that closet as a gay man who was a married man, Mormon, father of 5 from Salt Lake City, Utah. Indoctrinated by the church and told he could be reformed if he was gay. And after Elizabeth disappeared and they decided we're going after Ed Smart full force with all we got, the man finally come out and owned his shit and who he was and never gave up hope for his daughter. And I always admired him for that. I didn't care what he did behind the bedroom doors. I really didn't. That's between him and Lois. I admired that man's fight regardless of what the media stood up and said and the people in the chatter sections, right? We can appreciate that. And I appreciate that she was finally found. And I hold out hope that one day Sebastian Rogers can be found. Maybe little Summer Wells can still be found one day. And maybe when they're found, their lives aren't so traumatic. They can never overcome what they went through. Because you can believe if these kids are alive, they're not out there living their best life. They're living somebody's best life, but not theirs. Could be. Very well could be. It, you can't help but not think local. Hey, Dolphin, is Dolphin here? Good to see you, ma'am. And welcome in, Lucy, by the way. Lucy the Bengal. I like that name. Y'all have some very creative names. Very creative. I wish I could pull up something to share with you guys. All I can do is sit here and talk. I feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes, and there's not somebody here to talk back with me, but I'm looking at the comments talking to you guys. There's a lot of theories that could have been. I went on the. I saw somebody post in a comment that at this particular location, an SO was living there. I can't find evidence of that. And I was all over their websites this morning. And boy, just like in Sebastian Rogers' case, it was my first go-to there. And there was so many. In fact, shout out Cletus. Thank you for the boots on the ground scouting you did for me that one time. Appreciate it because it was important. And apparently Heather, the PI, was honed in on that motherfucker as well. Anyway, I can't find evidence of it. I was all over their website this morning. There was quite a handful living in Rogersville, but I don't know how long they've been living there. But I'm certain, we hope that authorities have always checked those individuals first. But the part that gets, excuse me, the part that bothers me, I got a lot of pushback in the Sebastian Rogers case on this. When everybody was out there pointing fingers at all of the three parents, I was like, man, sure would be nice if the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation would step up to the plate, hold a press conference, show me something, show me that grid one more time, that 5-mile radius, that 2-mile that expanded to 5-mile, blah, blah, blah. Caught a couple of local news pieces that showed some pretty interesting things that you guys were doing. I don't doubt that you did anything, but you could have come out and clarified a lot of things. Oh my God, the flashlight fiasco. Instead of letting all of YouTube debate it for us and tell us what to fucking think, y'all could have come out and said something. You know how many missing kids are in Tennessee? Aside from Sebastian Rogers and Lil Summer Wells? There's a lot. The TBI needs to start talking and answering some questions and maybe bringing the big boys in a little sooner. I don't know. Take them a little more seriously. Push back a little bit. In Florida, we had pushback all the time, and God, it was a wreck here for a hot minute. I mean, everything went under. Everything had to go over a complete overhaul. The Department of Children and Families, y'all let a kid do what? Disappear for 2 years, and now what? Y'all don't know where she was, and now we find out she's no longer with us, and y'all aren't responsible. Okay, liars, and we fixed it. Florida Department of Law Enforcement, one of the top in the nation now, for a reason. How many times do y'all see videos on Florida sheriff's departments? Oh, Sheriff Grady, when you gonna run for governor, sir? I feel it coming. You gonna take DeSantis down? I don't really give a fuck. I don't watch that shit. But I'm just saying, everybody likes them Florida sheriffs. They seem to. Pushback, right? Come out and say something. Give us some information. What about the other two little girls close in proximity that are still missing? Steve Fisher's been looking for them for a long time, too. Carrie, there's a lot of people out there using that little boy's name to make money. I guarantee you they probably did it last night, yesterday, this morning, today. If it ain't Lauren Matthias, it's going to be Sebastian Rogers. But it's about each other and not anything else. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Grady Judd and Billy Woods. Yes. You don't mess with those two, do you? Them's the two counties you don't want to mess around in. The one we got, well, the one we have now, not so bad. The one we had for too long, hmm. Locals have got questions, sir. Lots of them. Let's go to Danielle Bell for what? Oh, in fact, Nancy Grace is doing a special soon. I need to find out the date on that. Hold on. I think I dropped it in my Discord, so I would not lose it because I have that's where all my channels are for all my victims cases that we look into. I look into. Danielle Bell's a local case, and finally, her sister has a TikTok channel, and I think Bonnie has a YouTube as well. Um, Nancy was going to put a show out on Danielle soon. Going to be on her trying podcast, I guess. Let's see. I got to figure out where it was at because I saw it posted locally in from her sister's page. But anyway, they're important. Oh, here we go. So a couple days ago, she posted in the missing child Danielle Bell. Nancy Grace producers confirmed that Danielle's story will air the week of December 22nd. We do not know the exact date, that just that it will be sometime that week. Now, I am very interested to see what Nancy says on her show compared to what I know the sister has said, right? If she's going to put certain names out there or not, I'm here for it. I'm going to wait and see. And I don't want to say too much. So that's December 22nd. And we do not know the exact date, whatever. Justice for Danielle, find Danielle Bell. I'm reading this, guys, because I can't share it. It won't let me. Danielle Bell went missing on September 14th, I'm sorry, on September 28th, 2001, from Cantonment, Florida. She was 14 years old. Prior to her disappearance, she was being abused by a 24-year-old man named Alfredo Sanchez. Now, I'm not doxing Alfredo. That's a name that's been out there and yeah, there's a lot with old Alfredo. A couple of weeks before Danielle's disappearance, she had told several people that she thought she was pregnant by Sanchez, and that Sanchez said she would unalive her, or he would unalive her, if she told anyone. The night of her disappearance, Danielle Bell was last seen at a party at a park with Sanchez's younger brother, and I know where the park's at, and later at 588 Cedar Tree Lane in North Escambia County, which is the home of 24-year-old Robert Bassett, Sanchez's BFF, that he has known since childhood. Now, they've been looked at, investigated, persons of interest, cold case detective is pointing fingers directly at them. They've both been in prison. I think Sanchez currently is. The days following Danielle's disappearance, Sanchez went MIA, and she was a minor and they're adults. Um, he went MIA and would not talk to the police. He later would tell the police he didn't know Danielle. He would later be sentenced to 40 years for assaulting Danielle Bell and another juvenile. Okay, that's what I did forget about. Um, how can he got a charge for assaulting her, yet she's missing? How I got to find the documents on that and figure out how that stuck. Then her sister goes on to say, I believe that Sanchez and Bassett unalived my sister the night of 9/28/01, and I want them to tell me where they put her body. Anyone with information about Danielle Bell's disappearance is urged to contact the Escambia County Sheriff's Department. I'm going to link that into the community tab, and you guys can see that, and you can see her photo at least. You know what I mean? I have doubts that Danielle's still with us. I think her sister feels the same way. But whoever harmed her, they need to be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even hashtag that Danielle Bell or anything, guys. It's a Facebook post. I just threw it over there in the community tab so you guys can go see it. Raising money on the GoFundMe. Well, Carrie Christ said recently in that leaked audio that we listened to that they had all agreed in the House not to do a GoFundMe of any kind, and they took that on the advisement of law enforcement, like raise money for like search efforts and things of that nature. And they all agreed. And the next day, according to Chris, that's when Seth did the GoFundMe. Yeah, I don't do GoFundMe links over here for anybody. I might tell y'all they're out there, but I don't drop them and encourage either side of that. I don't do the dollars here. I don't like it. I can see if the GoFundMe was used for what it's stated for and I saw evidence of that, fine. A search party, dogs, whatever, cool. Water for the team, I'm here for it. But show me that's happening, right? And show me the receipts on that. And then maybe. But until then, we're good. We're good. Yeah, fuck around and find out in Marion County. You don't want to play around there, Wolfpack. I wouldn't. I wouldn't advise it. Not with that sheriff in town. Yeah, Rachel, I'm so over them telling us, or people told me during the Sebastian case, oh, Salty, they got to keep it close to the vest. They, you know how it is, integrity of the investigation and all. What investigation? Boy walks out of house, or boy takes garbage out, goes back in, never to be seen again. Heat-seeking missiles couldn't even find him. Okay. Don't ask a question. Just go sit down until we bring you an update. No, 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 no. It's called investigative reporting. I say it that way on purpose. If you know, you know. I, Sometimes I like being petty and throwing a little bit of shade. Yes, Forrest, they're great if they're used for what they're intended, right? Um, it's crazy what people will do for the almighty dollar, the root of all evil. Shit, look at Koberger over there. I don't want to give you a dime for that little urn you had to put your baby in. Sir, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have had to put him in there. You dumbass. Everybody knows you're not going to pay it to start with. It's just the principle, and you know it. But you're here for that argument, aren't you? Uh, so there's no like new documents in that case, by the way, that like struck me. I'm still kind of going through some of the ones they have um, unredacted in that case, and there's a lot of okay. I still want to put together a couple of shows around, and I'm still waiting on the good stuff. If Dolphin, if you're still here, I know you probably are too. Like, I'm so over some of right now with the Idaho 4 case. I don't know how much more I can analyze what everybody saw, did, and heard around the 48-hour period, coming, going, and such, dropping people off, picking people up, walking dogs, and all that. What was that other dude doing? The bad guy. I know he was lurking around in his car. What did he do all day? What, you know, I want to know. And I know that when I watched that Nancy Grace thing, everybody's like, well, why people want to see into his mind? I want to see into his mind because they spoke about something that they didn't think about when they said that. Learn to see the red flags. Since Madeline Soto's case, red flags, red flags. And we're like, okay, well, we can talk about what those red flags are all day long and twice on Sunday, but what do we do when we see them? What did WSU do when they saw the first red flag? What about the second one? and the third one, and the fourth, and the fifth. How many were there? Reports against Brian Koberger at WSU in the very short time he was there. I just want to know, because if we can find what made that guy tick, what his thought process really was, if there was one, everybody's, oh, he's so stupid. What do you want to know? Excuse me, y'all. He was the one sitting there in his little apartment cooking up a plan. I'd like to know why. And sit down, Mr. Thompson, with, oh, FBI said we're going to get lies. Really? Because the FBI has a whole ass unit, behavioral analysis unit. Do we understand what that means? And cowboys didn't come in the darkness with their little cowboy hats on for no reason. They're trying to figure out what kind of killer you got on your hands here. Is he a serial killer in the making, or one we just ain't caught yet that's moving across the country? Is he tied to other unalivings across the country, this possible person that we ain't got the name back yet on that DNA? Dolphin, I think we dropped the link earlier, but it was I watched it yesterday, I think it was. And Nancy Grace did an interview with the Gonzalez and also Joseph Scott Morgan. And if y'all know Joseph Scott, y'all know I'm a fan. He's so laid back, right? He's just like got that voice. It's not like it's just a monotone voice. He's just got like that relaxing voice, right? And like you can turn his podcast on and just chill and listen or whatever. Anyway, I like it when he's on shows. He's usually laid back. He got a little bit fired up. Butterfly watched it as well as like separately, and we both kind of like came back with the comment at the same time, like Joe Scott. We're here for it, because he doesn't mince words about what he does for a living, right? And what he sees and how he evaluates what he sees. And I appreciate that, because it's real talk about a crime scene, and it gives you a good gist of what might have really went down in there. And when you think about what really did go down in that house, what we know, what went on that third floor and on the second floor, while another girl is peeking in and out of the door, all this, think about that for a moment. All of that just happened around her, and she has no idea. She sees a weird guy, fireman, vacuums, lucid dreams, eyebrows. I just got to go crash out down there with Bethany. This shit, sleep it off. End of story, I guess. Did Koberger count on that when he passed that girl and they made eye contact, or was he just burnt out, done? There's things I want to ask him. Why did he walk away and leave that girl alive? She didn't interrupt what you were doing in your mind, so whatever. Or were you just adrenaline, got to get the fuck out? Danny Rawlings said he only chose houses that backed up to the woods because they were good cover. And you had a lot of girls on that phone that you were browsing. I wonder how many of those homes they lived in backed up to the woods. Was this the only one? Interestingly enough, they chose the same type of weapon. Interesting. And you downloaded his PDF twice that night you were on the website? Was that accidental, or you just went back for reference and accidentally downloaded it again, because as soon as you click on it, it downloads? So you went back and looked again, and it re-downloaded twice. So there you go, twice. I got questions, like for real. Like I'm like a psychologist wanting to get into this dude's brain so bad. But we're here I want to just get to the goods on their documents, because I think we know he was trying to be super secretive, those little fancy wiping tools and such. Are we keeping his seat warm? Is he on dog duty again? Cool. I wonder if I could support a guest. Dolphin, what are you doing? You want to come talk to me? Guys, I feel like so isolated where I moved. Like my sister just does her own thing. She's like, I'm an introvert. I just stay at home. She's like all the time, like social butterfly gone. Whatever. Go do you, I do me. But I haven't like I don't talk to people a lot. I don't talk to nobody about true crime, but you guys. My sister and I talk local stuff, but well, she comes to me with that local stuff because I usually don't watch a lot of the local stuff. It's gotta be super interesting to catch my eye. Okay, let me grab the link, ma'am. We'll see if it works. We'll try this. Let me grab this link. Let me see if I can get my Discord. Oh yes, to pull up here. Where are you at? There you are. It's been a minute since we've heard from Dolphin. Okay, I sent you the link, ma'am. Hopefully, I can support her coming up. Um, if not, we'll figure it out. I need a fresh cup of coffee anyway. I don't have to let the dog in and out anymore. The dog that I always had around me was my son's dog, so I miss Annie though. Annie was the dog. I kind of don't miss it, the responsibility, but I do miss it because she always hung out with me in the backyard. It's me and the cat hanging out all by our lonesome. Well, who's lost their mind, Pammy? Oh, your family thinks you've lost your mind. Yeah, they don't. Nobody gets into my true crime stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? My mom would have. She'd have been here for it. Are you did? Let me see if it picked you up back here. Oops. Yeah, there you. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I don't know if it'll get both of us on screen. It's
Mm.
acting all funky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
This looks different.
is it different back here?
Mm-hmm.
I
Looks
don't
a
know.
little different than normal.
Can you guys hear Dolphin in the chat? Let me know because I can hear her, but I can't get her to come onto the screen. There she is.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. I see you on my phone on my restream. I just see me. That's weird.
Oh no, I'm on the main screen now.
Okay, yeah, I see you now. Okay, you guys let me know in the chat. Are we okay here? I think we are. It's
I
weird
think
because
so.
on my phone I see you, both of us, and on the restream on the PC here I just see me. So I'm gonna leave it alone
Oh, okay.
and let chat
Yeah,
let me
Pammy
know.
said she hears me.
Okay, and you guys can see her as well. It looks like awesome. So how have you been, ma'am?
Oh, I have been, yeah, okay. Busy, dealing with that leftover family stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just got back from that today. That's where I was driving back from. So,
Okay.
yeah, but now I'm free to do whatever I want now.
Oh yeah, good, good.
Hmm.
Well, good. I'm hoping everything is working out like you wanted it to,
Hmm.
the way it should anyway.
Yeah,
Um, very, very good. That's good to hear. Um, damn, man, it's not cool to have shits to do. That's what I always
I
say,
know. And
right?
as soon as I got back, my next door neighbor, he's out on his riding lawnmower, and I was like, "Damn," because the peer pressure back here in my cul-de-sac it's strong. If
Oh
somebody
my
comes
god.
out with a leaf blower, then usually somebody else will come out at the same time. So, and I was just like, "Yeah, I do need to blow leaves because the yard is
Yeah.
covered. It's like a carpet of leaves." And I just did
Oh
it like I
goodness.
don't know, a week and a half ago. So,
You got a lot of trees around you though, so
hmm, yeah.
imagine every time the wind blows, you
Yep.
got some leaves falling down, especially this time of year, um,
Hmm.
in the South.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
really pretty though, you know.
Mhm. You know what? We don't around Northwest Florida, we don't have, like, that foliage that like you see up in the Vermont and all that in the Northeast or
Hmm.
whatever. Here we don't get all that. Yeah, the leaves
Oh
change
yeah.
and stuff and whatever. We got the pine trees and such and the live oaks, but we don't get that foliage stuff. So, but we can get a lot of leaves if you got trees in the yard. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. But the colors are so pretty, and it's like, you
Yeah.
come around a curvy street, and it's like, tree-lined street, and these beautiful,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I've seen pictures.
orange and, yellow leaves or
Yeah.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Well, yeah, like I've seen photos of that, but we don't got here like that. We don't have those types of trees, I guess. We have a different tree. We got the pine trees and such.
Hmm.
We got the
I do
moss
have a
hanging.
few pine.
Yeah, we got moss hanging from the oaks here and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Ooh, I
So
would love to have lilac, um, anywhere.
mm,
Always smells so
right,
good.
yeah. Rachel's there in Idaho. She can grow those tulips and stuff too. Like the Ethan Smile tulip would grow so well for her, and for me, it would just probably not be a good thing at all. Our
Hmm.
humidity would probably not make it do well. So, what have
Yeah.
you been doing true crime lately? Have you
Ooh.
watched a lot of the all the interviews that
Mm.
have come down, the Koberger case and the different things? And
Mm.
uh,
I'm a little behind on the interviews. Like I watched the latter half of Bethany's, but not the first part because I
mm,
saw somewhere it was in two parts. So, what else? I've watched some of the Friends interviews. The male named Peyton, because there's a male Peyton and a female
there's
Peyton.
right, there's two, right?
Mm-hmm.
A guy and a girl. I don't think I've watched it. Well, I think I started his.
Mm-hmm.
But I got sidetracked and didn't finish. I got a little bored with those group of videos because I felt like I'm gonna be hearing this stories I already know. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I do want to unpack them, but not just have it. There's been other things going on,
Oh
and
yeah.
to me, those aren't as relevant as people want to make them seem. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of like just give me the good Coburger goods. You know what I mean? So we're
Mm-hmm.
still waiting on some documents to come down, right?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
third batch. Mm.
Yeah, I was looking
And
back over the order on that just, day before yesterday, I
mm-hmm.
think, at the next batch they plan to unseal.
Waiting for basically a ruling from the judge because the state and the defense have already put theirs in, and that was like at the end of October. So, and the defense wanted theirs sealed, so it's sealed, but the state's responses are open.
Yeah. Well, we did a show, day before yesterday
Mm-hmm.
about, a lawsuit that was filed against WSU, and this was going on when the crime happened.
Mm-hmm.
So when Koberger was, already a TA and getting into trouble or whatnot, they were already in a lawsuit situation with this hazing incident. And
Mm-hmm.
we just reviewed that, and it's a Supreme Court thing now. But anyway,
How
right
many of
after
the
that,
families do they have on board for this?
huh?
How many of the families do they have on board for this one?
For the lawsuit against WSU,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just the Gonzalez family.
I heard that it was supposedly going to be all of them, and I thought, that doesn't
Mm,
sound right. But okay.
maybe Karen, maybe Maddie's mom because she has a close relationship to the G's. She'd be
Mm-hmm.
the only one that I could think of.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't mean anything.
Right.
They're not always on the same page. But
That's
I
true.
don't know if I have not heard. Um,
Hmm.
but I do know that right after we did that show, I think the next day it came out that they filed the lawsuit
Mm-hmm.
against WSU. Well, on that Nancy Grace piece, they say that I think they show a letter or an
Mm-hmm.
email that they received from Thompson that
Oh, okay.
tells them, Yeah, it tells them in there about this plea agreement, restitution stuff. Tells them that they it turns out they can't pay for like travel expense or something,
Mhm.
that they could always sue Brian Koberger.
Mhm.
And it was kind of like duh, but they really give the prosecution hell during that episode. Everybody, including Joe Scott. I was like,
Mhm.
girl, I was here for it. I think you will be too.
Yeah.
Because I would love to have a conversation just based around that episode. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I can't play. It won't let me play anything right now. So,
Oh, do you want me to try and
well, you can try.
let me just, click this off.
I got this little notification day before yesterday that I used up a lot of my data. It's time to
Mhm.
reset. It's like it'll slow you down during congested times of use or whatever.
Oh,
So
okay.
if there's a bunch of people using their phone data,
Mhm.
then I'm just going to be having a lower bandwidth. And earlier we were trying to play that one piece and it was working for a while, then it just stopped. So
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
But it is
Let's
time for my phone data to reset. The cable guys, and I have to wait for the cable people to come. That's my only option. I can't even get the freaking Starlink.
mhm.
Ugh. Anyway, they
Um,
have to come and wire the house.
yeah, my internet is through the cable company, so,
Yeah.
I haven't
Well,
had any
this is
problems
an
with them.
older house, and they've never been wired to receive cable, or you know what I
Oh,
mean, or
okay.
Wi-Fi,
Mhm.
nothing, nothing. So they are supposed to have a work order in to come out and do just that, and then maybe I can get some internet.
I see. Let's see. It is share. It's this one that, you guys just linked.
Let's see.
Koberger
Let me get back
contesting the
here.
plea deal.
Uh, butterfly. Bit.
Oh,
So,
Forrest dropped something already. Uh-huh.
okay.
It
Well,
says
Forrest
Koberger
dropped a couple
contesting
of.
plea deal. Can case go to trial? Lifetime. Idaho
Yeah.
Ford movie outrage. 20
Mm-hmm.
hours ago.
Yep,
Yep.
that's it.
Okay. Let me know if you see it.
Now, I'm not sure about the possibility that there is a way, apparently,
Mm-hmm.
that they can go to trial, and y'all tell me what y'all think once we read this. Hey, Cindy Sharp, welcome in. Thin Mint, welcome
Wow.
in.
How are they gonna, I mean, if they could, how would they even, you know what I mean, ever get
Well,
like a jury with all this stuff that's been
well,
coming out?
that's talked about a little bit,
Hmm.
and that's on them.
Yeah. Hmm.
There's a lot of high profile cases out there that jurors are chosen for. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Okay.
but if
Um.
it's going to take the feds stepping in, apparently.
Hmm.
But Steve G says that the feds told him, we can do that, but we can't give you the death penalty. And I was like,
Hmm.
what? You know how? But you and I don't know how. We have an understanding about how they comment on things, right?
Right.
So I'll get your take once you actually hear it too, and see if we're on the
Okay.
same page. But yeah,
Hmm.
go ahead. Let's see. Let me get you. Let me get back here, and I don't see a. Let's see. I
A
don't see a
share.
screen for you.
Mm. It shows in mine. It says sharing this tab.
Source hidden to show change non-video settings. That's never there. Normally, if you got a screen to share with me, it shows it. Um, Guests can control presentation was turned off. Let me turn that on. Uh, but I still don't see a box to even click to turn on what you're trying to share with us.
Really?
And normally,
Okay.
yeah, there would be a box here that I click and it would display what you're showing, and I don't even
Sources.
see that. Mm, it's in my settings back here in my restream. Everything's like it should be. It may be.
It says enable camera V,
I
but I
think
don't
it's
have
just
a
me.
camera.
I think it is just me, Dolphin, with my BS Wi-Fi shit going on.
Hmm.
Because normally I wouldn't have any issues seeing what you're trying to display. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That little box would be there, and I just click it, and it turns it on, and it pops it on screen, and we're good to go.
Yeah, I see the box. That's
You do?
I see sources. I see what.
I can't see on my restream, I only see me on screen. I don't even see you. I see your box where it says that you're up there, but I don't see you. But I see you on my phone. That's weird because I got the stream on my phone, but yeah, I don't know what's going on, guys. It's like a ghost in this weird thing. That is really odd that I can't see you. Let me take you down. Wait. Now you're gone on the. Am I still here, guys? Well, this turned into a shit show real fast. Now I can't see Dolphin anymore or hear her. um, yeah, Dolphin's not there now. I don't know what happened. Okay, let me see. Is she back? Okay, now I see her back here. And it says that she's on the stream, but I don't see her. That is weird. I may have to shut the stream down, guys, and try to come back up tonight or this evening with this. Maybe I can figure out a way to, let's see. I don't. There she comes. It looks like. Hold on, Restream is showing her on screen now, kind of. I think it's just my wonky internet. Guys, I really do. Okay, Dolphin, there's your screen popped up. There, are you here? Oh, screen went away. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm here.
It tried to come in for a second. It's definitely the internet, guys. So we're not going to be able to do
Oh, wow.
this because it came in for a second and then it went off again. So sorry, Dolphin, it's not going to work. We'll have to figure something else out. If I can figure out a way to go live later and pull it off. There's the Dolphin's back on screen on
I
the
think it's just slow.
on the thing. Let me see.
Try
It's
one more
not.
time.
I can't even control the settings back here. So, yeah, we're gonna call it a day. Let me go see if I can fix things, and if I can figure out a way to come back later, I will. If I can figure out a way to get some more Wi-Fi in here overnight, I will.
Now do you
Y'all,
see it?
thanks for bearing with me, at least through the pain of it all. But we shared the links to the things we did discuss, so you guys go and take a listen to those. Can you hear me in the chat?
Yeah, I can.
Because I can't tell.
Oh.
Okay, Pammy says, we understand. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for being here. If y'all don't mind, hit the like button. I'll get the internet straightened out soon, I promise. And we'll be back later when we can with more. Until then, you guys be safe on the YouTube streets. Damn it, man. Y'all know the rules. Follow them. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
See you guys.